Welcome to The Explainer. There's one skill that can truly make or break your entire career, and that's communication. Today, we're going to dig into how you can transform it from just, talking into your most powerful tool for actually getting things done. Let's dive right in. Okay, just imagine for a second you're on the receiving end of that. Oof. Those are the words of a customer who is just done, right? This one little sentence, it's a powder keg, a simple chat that's about to explode into a full-blown conflict. So how on earth did we get here?
All right, let's set the scene and meet the key players who are right in the middle of this showroom showdown. So first up, we've got the customer. Let's call him Mr. X. Now, he's a vice president, so you can bet he's used to being in charge and he's used to getting results. And right now, he is convinced that the new shoes he just bought are defective because the stripes on them don't line up perfectly.
And facing off against him is Mr. A young sales trainee. He's being calm, he's being polite, and he's really just trying to do his job and follow the rules. But, as we're about to see, just stating company policy isn't always the way to win a conversation.
So let's break down what happened in that first interaction. This is a textbook example of two people talking at each other instead of with each other. And, well, this is where things really start to go off the rails.
And this is the total disconnect. See, on one hand, you've got Mr. A. He's being completely logical. He's just stating the store's policy. But Mr. X, he's not hearing policy. He's hearing you're wrong. He hears a challenge. So his response isn't logical at all. It's pure emotion. He just doubles down, basically accusing the whole shop of being shady. And this is where it all goes wrong. Even though Mr. A was being polite, his approach totally backfired. Why? Because he focused on what the policy was, but he completely missed why the customer was so upset in the first place. All he did was make Mr. X angrier and even more convinced that he was right. So, just when it feels like this whole thing is about to boil over, the showroom manager, Mr. G, steps onto the scene. And what we're about to witness is a masterclass in de-escalation that completely flips the script. Mr. G's first move is easily his most powerful one. He doesn't jump in to argue. He doesn't defend the store. In fact, he barely says anything at all. He just asks a simple question, and then he listens. He gives the customer the space to finally feel like someone is hearing him. His strategy is brilliant, and it breaks down into 4 simple steps. First, and this is key, he just listens, shuts up and lets the customer vent. Second, he starts asking questions, not to argue, but to really get where the customer's coming from. Third, he totally reframes the problem. See, it's not a defect, it's a design pattern. Genius. And finally, when he sees that frustration is still simmering, he makes this incredibly smart move. He just changes the subject, diverts the whole conversation away from the shoes, and breaks that cycle of conflict. Now, what the manager and eventually the trainee tapped into is this core principle called the you attitude. And it's all about a fundamental shift in your focus. You stop asking, what do I want to say? And you start asking, what does the other person need to hear? What do they actually care about? And just watch how this works in the real world. After the manager diverts the conversation, Mr. A gets another chance. But this time, he uses the you attitude. He doesn't say, our policy needs a receipt. No. He says the shoes might get misplaced without one. Now that speaks directly to Mr. X's desire to not lose his stuff. And guess what? It works. Instantly. What happened in that showroom wasn't just luck or magic. It was pure strategy. And it was built on a proven framework. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the secret formula that made all of this work. And here it is, this secret sauce, the 7 C's of effective communication. Now look, a good message, it's got to be clear, correct, and concise. That's the baseline. But that's not where the magic happens. To be truly effective, it also has to be courteous, concrete, complete, and there it is again, it has to show consideration. That's our you attitude. Just take a look at this. The trainee, Mr. A, his first attempt, it was only correct. That's it. But the manager, he layered on courtesy, clarity, and the big one, consideration. And that changed everything. I mean, think about it. Mr. G didn't just throw facts around, he was courteous because he listened. He showed consideration by actually trying to see things from Mr. X's point of view. And he brought clarity by reframing the whole problem. That is how you turn a shouting match into a real conversation. So the real lesson here isn't just about how to handle an angry customer. This framework, this is a superpower that you can use in any difficult conversation you have, whether it's with a client, a coworker, maybe even your boss.
So what are the big things to remember? First, a good story will always beat a rigid policy, always. Second, you have to listen and ask questions before you start stating facts. You have to understand their why before you deliver your what. Third, make that you attitude your secret weapon. And finally, keep these 7 C's handy. They're the toolkit you need to build a better message every single time.
Which brings us to a final question. And this one's for you. The next time you find yourself in a tough conversation, who are you going to be? Are you going to be the person who just states the facts and ends up fueling the fire? Or are you going to be the one who listens, who reframes, and who actually finds a way forward? The choice now is yours. Thanks for watching The Explainer.